It's the final day of Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Iranians from all over the world gather to picnic and celebrate. But this year, the picnic has a special flavor, the taste of revolt. The uprising that began last autumn in Iran has had repercussions as far west as the USA. And it's no coincidence. Almost 500,000 Iranians live in the Los Angeles area, making it the largest Iranian community outside of Iran. It's an educated community with a higher standard of living than the American average. Sudi Farokhniyeh, who has been in exile in the United States for 37 years, works in financial risk management. She is an elected Democrat and a staunch campaigner for women's causes. She strives tirelessly to raise awareness about issues in Iran among American citizens and politicians of all persuasions.
The regime has died in the minds of 80% of the over 80 million people in Iran. You know, where there was always this glimpse of hope that there might be a possibility of some sort of a reform, that things can get a little bit better. That dream is gone. Everyone knows that that's not going to happen. So they really don't see us as being the leaders of this movement, for sure not, but they do understand that we are amplifying their voices.
For several months now, Iran has been experiencing a succession of protests, harshly repressed by the ruling power. The diaspora immediately mobilized on social networks and in the streets.
We're going to give our best attempt to show our support for our sisters in Iran. We're going to dance for Iran just like they are dancing on the streets of Iran.
This video shot in Tehran by young girls with their hair blowing in the wind and navels exposed would have been unthinkable a year ago. The video is a way of giving the authorities the middle finger and has gone viral on the internet. The girls were immediately arrested. Once released, they had to make a public apology. But since then, the choreography has been replicated all over the world in support of their courage. This dance and these demonstrations are also helping to restore a form of pride among Iranians, especially in the United States, where diplomatic crises reinforced mistrust of their community for many decades.
Let me tell you, everything we do here is because of what people are doing in Iran. There was always the concept of the hostage taking and, you know, the terrorists and what you saw on the TV from the images of their, and now that the women of Iran have brought pride back to being an Iranian. So people, you know, proudly say that I'm Iranian, proudly wear their pins all the time. They wear their necklaces all the time now. So it's very different.
Evidence of this unprecedented movement can be found throughout the Los Angeles district, whether in Beverly Hills, Westwood, or Irvine. There's a reason why the Iranian neighborhood in Westwood is nicknamed Tehrangeles, a contraction of Tehran and Los Angeles. But in both of these cities, it's difficult to find out what is happening on the streets of Iran. Human rights organizations report that 537 people have been killed in the protests, a figure that is undoubtedly underestimated.
توی اعتراضای از اول شهریور تا الان خب شاید رو هم رفته بگن که اسم یه سری معترضه که کشته شدن رو بگیم یا دستگیر شدن رو بگیم، شاید 50 نفر بیشتر یاد شما نیاد.
درسته.
50 نفری که بود شدن.
دقیقاً.
دستگیر یا توی گمنامی کشته شدن و دستگیر شدن و هیچ کس صداشون نشد.
دقیقاً.
خب
درست.
و هیچ کس نمیده الان که جنازه‌هاشون میاد بیرون تازه میفهمن کیان و اصلا هیچ حتی یه توییت براشون زده نشد.
Since the beginning of the movement, Sudi has been in contact with many Iranians still living there. Among them is this young man, we'll call Ali. For his safety, we've had to change his first name. The two have never met in person, but they are bound by a common goal: to help topple the Islamic regime.
من وقتی میبینم مردم تو ایران اعتراض میکنن، صبح که چشم باز میکنم با انرژی مصممتری پا میشم، به خاطر اینکه من از شماها انرژی میگیرم. ما 2 تا ویدیو میبینیم شماها در ایران همچنین دارین فعال میکنین، مصممتر میخوایم کارامون رو انجام بدیم.
Iran has been placed behind a wall of silence. In 2022, 582 people were executed, according to official statistics, an increase of 75% compared to 2021. As for the incarcerated, the government claims to have released nearly 82,000 detainees in February, including 22,600 linked to the protests. But arrests and summary executions continue. Iran remains a black hole. Asal Pahlevan has made it her mission to gather testimonies and document the movement happening in Iran. The Iranian journalist, who has lived in Los Angeles for 22 years, collects videos from Iran for TV news programs, which he presents to Iranian audiences. One such example is this video featuring a young woman denouncing the supreme leader.
Moi, je crois qu'elle est la plus courageuse personne que j'ai jamais eue dans ma vie. Devant prison, elle vient juste sortir en prison, c'est juste devant la porte, hein, devant la porte. Vous savez, c'est interdit de parler quoi ce soir sur Khamenei, donc de dire ce qu'elle est en train de dire, c'est incroyable, ça doit être beaucoup de courage. J'ai entendu parler qu'elle est repartir en prison, mais je ne sais pas encore, je ne suis pas sûre. Moi, j'ai grandi à l'étranger, donc j'avais la possibilité de parler, de faire ce que je veux, comment je m'habille, je sors, j'écoute la musique, je vais danser, vous savez, tout ça. Moi, je veux ça pour l'Iran. با درود به بینندگان خوب تلویزیون پارس، اصل پهلوان هستم و دقایق رو با شما بینندگان خوب تلویزیون خواهم بود. امیدوارم در هر کجای دنیا که هستید
For the past year, Asal's news program has been broadcast weekly on Pars TV, an Iranian satellite channel run by the opposition in exile. The journalist relays information sent to her personally or posted on social networks, to which Iranians do not always have access. These broadcasts discuss assassinations and imprisonments, as well as the economic and social situation.
دوست داشتم درودی بفرستم به هموطنان ما در قم و با این شعار نویسیشون که می نویسند مرگ بر خامنه‌ای. شما فکر کنید که جمهوری اسلامی پول میده که بیان این شعارها رو صبح پاک کنن، اینها دوباره شعارها رو هر شب می نویسن. رضا محمد حسینی کسی است که چندی پیش با خالد پیرزاده هنگام شعار نویسی بازداشت میشه. چند ماهی در زندان بوده و بعد هم آزاد.
اینجا یکی از شکنجهگاه‌ها و کشتارگاه‌های جمهوری اسلامی به نام زندان رجایی شهره. بسیاری از زندانیان سیاسی که من در اینجا حبس کشیدم الان پشت این دیوارهای بلندن و تا زمانی که تمامی زندانیان سیاسی آزاد نشن و تا زمانی که جمهوری اسلامی رو از ایران بیرون نکنیم سکوت نخواهم کرد.
Asal has been following the fate of prisoners for more than 20 years. But since this winter's uprising, it's been a full-time occupation, as arbitrary arrests continue. This woman has been arrested several times by the authorities, but didn't hesitate to post her testimony to denounce their actions.
و داره محکم فشار میده و هی میگم میکشم من شروع کردم به پرت کردنش و من شروع کردم دفاع از خودم فعلا از تهران خارج نشم. نمیتونم بگم حالم خوبه، نمیتونم بگم تو شرایط امنیت هستم، آزاد شدم. نه واقعا بلا تکلیفم، نمیدونم چی قرار، چه اتفاقی برام بیفته.
Asal is in regular contact with her.
سلام عزیزم. اولا که خودت چطوری؟ بگو ببینم خودت چطوری؟
ببین کلا منو بردن زندان، مریض کردم، پنیک شدم، الان زیر نظر دکترم. مامانم این مدت نرسید به خودش برسه دم زندان، هی دنبال من بردیم دکتر، گفتن سرطان تمام بدنش گرفته، پخش شده. در مورد این بعد یه برنامه ویژه بذاری من بیام صحبت کنم.
حتما
در مورد مامان.
حتما. خودت حالا بهتری؟
هیچی، من پنیک شدم، پنیک گرفتم تو زندان.
Des fois, je peux rien faire pour eux. Donc, par exemple, quand ils sortent de prison, quand je les vois comme ça, des fois, en regardant, je pleure parce qu'en fait, il n'y a rien à faire.
Vous vous sentez impuissante?
Ouais, je sens que impuissant, c'est plus fort, plus que ça en fait, plus que ça. Ils ont passé des jours très difficiles en prison, donc moi je peux pas, même une journée, je peux pas rester en prison comme ça fermée. Donc des fois ça me fait très mal.
Time to wrap up at Ferdowsi Emruz magazine. Asal also runs this weekly magazine, founded 60 years ago by her father, Abbas Pahlavan, a renowned Iranian journalist and writer. This week's cover features the young dancers of Tehran. The print magazine has 2,000 subscribers and the online version 5,000. For 13 years, Asal has continued her father's work, publishing Iranian news and poetry. But she has also put her own stamp on the magazine.
J'ai 2 pages pour les prisonniers. Des prisonniers qui sont soit religieux, soit politiques. C'est les deux, le mélange des deux en fait. Par exemple, le premier que je fais pour cette édition, c'est Nahal Shahidi Yazdi. On ne sait pas pourquoi ils l'ont arrêtée. On ne sait pas où elle est. بابا تیتر رو جلد چی میخوای بزنی؟
کدام برگی برنده پس از حجاب اجباری و رقص دختران.
خوبه دیگه؟ آره. Perfect. Quand Khomeini est arrivé, mon père, dès au départ, il disait qu'il n'était pas bien pour le pays. Donc, il était contre. Ils l'ont arrêté, mon père, parce qu'en fait, il pensait qu'il voulait faire des coups d'État. D'abord, il ne voulait pas quitter l'Iran. Et il disait toujours, un écrivain doit rester au milieu du peuple, de sentir ce qui se passe pour le pays. Ma mère elle a dit, on a une voiture, donc on a le vendre et on va partir.
Asal's family first moved to France in 1985, before settling in the United States. Today, the pressure is still on. Supporters of the Tehran regime are even making their presence felt in California by insulting Asal on the internet or blocking her newspaper's website.
Vous savez, le gouvernement islamique, ça reste pas comme ça à nous regarder quand même. Ils travaillent de leur côté aussi. Hein. Ils m'envoient les menaces, les trucs méchants, mais qui me disent que c'est pas vrai ce que je dis à la télévision, tout ça, mais ça me fait ni chaud ni froid en fait.
This hostility has also manifested itself on several occasions in one of Tehran's symbolic landmarks, the Persian Gulf Cafe, run by Ruzbeh Farahani Pour. The cafe has been vandalized 4 times over the past month.
This is not the first time, that shouldn't be the last time. We are deal with this kind of the threat in my entire life since I moved outside of Iran, I escaped the country, still they come and follow me and chasing me.
The first break-in took place just after Rouzbeh dedicated a table in his restaurant to the memory of the first young woman to fall victim to the regime.
So this is kind of the highlight for the movement in this area. That's heart of the Tehran-Jelis. We keep it here until the people overthrow the Islamic Republic. We started with the 7 picture of the young woman who got killed in the revolution, woman revolution in Iran. It started with Mahsa, Hadis, Nikhan, Ghazaleh, and others. And then they get number too high, and we stop it there, but we keep it as a symbol of the revolution. Hello.
Today, Rouzbeh is one of the key figures in the Iranian community. He has ties to the Republicans and heads the Westwood Chamber of Commerce. He opened this restaurant a year ago and has turned it into a real museum.
رو هر چیزی هم که می‌بینی اسم پرژین گلف نقش بسته.
22 years ago.
Asal and Rouzbeh have known each other for over 20 years. But before they met, Asal was already following his activities from Los Angeles when Rouzbeh was in Tehran, leading the student movement against the regime. And then when he was imprisoned in 1999. Rouzbeh currently runs 3 restaurants in Westwood. He's concerned about what's happening in Iran, not only from a political standpoint, but also from an economic one. In 2023, Iranians' standard of living is lower than ever. The economic situation is steadily deteriorating, with inflation up 50% and a historic devaluation of its currency. Rouzbeh makes a phone call each day to keep abreast of the situation.
آره وضع اقتصادی چطوره اونجا؟
افتضاح. خراب.
یعنی از قبل خرابتر شده، از یه ماه پیش بدتر شده.
خیلی بدتر شده. خیلی بدتره. میرم دارو میگیرم میام مثلا قبلا نمیدونم میشد مثلا 300,000 تومان برای مثال. الان میرم همون دارو رو بخوام بگیرم مثلا میشه 1.5.
دارو 5 برابر شده الان.
آره واقعا همینجوریه. با خیلی از فامیلان نزدیکمون خونه هاشون تو شهر فروختن رفتن روستا چون نمیتونن دیگه زندگی کنن اونجا.
خیلی خیلی بد میشه. نمیدونم دیگه واقعا چیکار باید کنم.
داره بدتر میشه. یعنی یه روز نیست که مثلا قیمت‌ها اضافه نشه، مخارج بیشتر نشه.
These telephone conversations are always risky for the people he's speaking to.
Usually, when the regime sees some activity from me here, the first thing they do, they go after many of the contacts list they have. They just invite them for interrogation, or they call them, get them to the WebOC offices in different cities. When was the last time you talked to Rouzbeh?
Since the beginning of the uprising, demonstrations and strikes for the improvement of daily life have been taking place alongside the movement for fundamental freedoms. Sudi shares her worries about the situation with Ali.
شرایط ما نه مایی که از اول اعتراضا و اعتصاباتی که بوده کاملا همش رو بودیم و هیچ پروژه‌ای نتونستیم بگیریم. ببین من تقریبا قراردادی که حتی مربوط به تابستون بود بسته بودم اول تابستون قبل از شروع اعتراضات که با یکی از این اپراتورهای تلفن همراه وقتی که این اتفاقات افتاد دیگه من نمیتونستم با یه چیز حکومتی کار کنم و قراردادو که به پول ما هم خیلی میشد به پول ایران خیلی میشد اونو لغو کنم و این 7 ماه واقعا من و دوربریای خودم که میبینم واقعا سخت بهشون گذشته.
شما چی فکر میکنید چه کمکی میشه کرد؟
ببین کمکی که میشه کرد توی این شرایط اینه که کمک مالیه، میدونی، چون منی که من معترض یا ایکس ایگرگ کسی که اعتراض میکنه و میخواد توی خیابون بره باید از باجتی که داره، از نون شبی که نیاز داره، خب خیالش راحت باشه.
درست. I wish I could win a lotto. For every person I talk to, I can just keep sending money because at the end of the day, they all need money.
Sudi left Iran 37 years ago to study, but she never went back. In the years that followed, her uncle, an admiral in the Navy, was hanged. And her father, a high-ranking member of the oil industry, was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
He lost 10 years of his life because of this regime. So it's him. That's my driving force.
Demonstrations for Iran have been going on for months now in Los Angeles. This weekend, Asal and her friends are leading a rally in the Iranian neighborhood of Westwood.
به نام خداوند رنگین کمان، به نام تمام عزیزان و جانباختگان که کشته شدن اخیراً، بگذارید با هم یک صدا فریاد بزنیم: زن زندگی آزادی، زن زندگی آزادی. همه با هم: women life freedom، women life freedom.
Several political figures from all sides attended the rally, including Rusbeh, who can already see himself as the future representative of Tehran's regime.
من به شما قول میدهم روزی خامنه ای را در پای میز محاکمه توسط دادگاه‌های ملی و بدور از دست‌های بیگانه محاکمه خواهیم کرد و اگر من این شانس را داشته باشم به نمایندگی از مردم ایران به عنوان کیفرخواست و دادستان درخواست حکم اعدام خامنه ای را از دادگاه‌های ملی خواهم کرد. مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی، پاینده ایران. این نوید رو هم به شما بدم.
But for a while, the movement has taken on a new dimension, with the support of these young Iranian-Americans who have never set foot in their parents' country.
The Islamic Republic sucks, and they're killing Iranians for no reason. It's a human right to show your hair and to be able to show whatever part of your body that you want, and the Islamic Republic is killing them for absolutely no reason, and they need to be stopped.
Just standing here having a voice is enough. It's a big impact. Or also signing bills or talking to your local government and having them do something with the federal government. That's already enough change that can really change Iran too, hopefully.
In Iran, this unprecedented uprising is primarily being led by young people. In Los Angeles, it's now up to the new generation to take up the torch and make the voice of Iranian Americans heard.